want to start asking some questions about your characters before we get started to really get those role play juices going and brewing and start really fleshing out who these people are that we're going to be spending so much time with. What is something the party doesn't know about your character?
I don't know anything about Dennis. Who are you?
Who are you, Dennis?
Sorry, are we answering in character, or are we just talking about
I planned on it.
Okay.
Whichever you feel more comfortable with doing.
So Dennis kind of like weaves his fingers together, and he kind of looks down at the floor. His eyes are lowered. He looks very embarrassed.
I'm terrified of bees.
Oh my
Let me
God.
just not write that down real quick.
Dennis,
He's so sweet.
Dennis, why
Oh
are
my
you
God.
scared of bees? No. Are you allergic?
No,
Well, I'm allergic to
Least-
turkey.
I don't think so. They're so small, but people who are allergic can die, and it'll cause you to swell up, and oh no.
Well, some people are allergic to soap. And they swell up and die just trying to get clean.
Are you talking about anybody
Like
in
who?
particular, or just
This is
what
not
you
from
smell like that?
experience, Aurelian.
like go to smell myself for a sec?
Troglodytes are allergic to soap.
The only possibility.
That was a slow burn.
Love it.
Completely valid. I'm sure we can test it out if we just throw soap at them instead of you throwing javelins.
100%.
Worth a
Put
shot.
the best way to do it, put the soap on the javelins.
Oh, it's like a poison dart.
And if
but
they
javelin.
die, we'll know they're allergic to soap.
Yes, not the bleeding from the stabbing.
It's irrelevant.
Rowan, what do we not know about you?
I have tried to run away from home many times, but I chicken out every single time because it's scary.
You know what, Rowan? I totally understand. When I was younger, I used to sneak people in my house so that if I got in trouble, I wouldn't get in trouble for leaving. They would get in trouble for being in the house. Yeah.
Well, if you think about it like that. Wait, what?
Wait.
They let you get away with that?
I never got caught, so I don't know.
I need a moment to process.
What about you? You too.
Oh.
I'll go.
Yeah,
I'm
sure,
not
go.
I'm actually not going to do this one in character.
Okay.
But there are pieces of attire on Lenosa that belongs to her family. So they're like, I'm not going to say anything specific because I want to hold on to this somewhat for mystery purposes. But like, there are pieces, if you look at the character art for Lenosa, that like belong, like are straight up pieces from like her family's like items that are very important to her. So
I'm going to be looking.
just like, it's not just like, oh, this was pretty, I wanted to wear it, kind of a bit.
I love it.
Love it. I love that.
Yeah, no, I'm going to be like studying the character art now and trying to figure out what it is.
Right?
And it said like zoom, enhance, zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see this one pixel.
It's
yeah.
beautiful.
Aurelian.
I mean, if you were to ask her about it, she might say something, but like,
Okay.
Why would you ask?
Exactly. So
Well, I would ask,
Maybe.
is it shiny and made of metal?
there is a piece on her that is shiny and made of metal that is not part of our quarterstaff. So
Aurelian is from a large kind of family, and they're all back in Baldur's Gate, but he had to leave because family tensions were very high, and yeah.
Did you do it?
It
you
wasn't.
make the tensions
No, it wasn't
high?
me. It wasn't me. You know.
I don't know. You're the one that has the fancy hair, so
Well, thank you. But, but no, it wasn't. I would rather see everybody together and seeing my family fight like this has made me not be maybe so forthcoming with a lot of information. So I do have some story elements that I'm like hanging on to, but they'll definitely come out.
Oh,
It's
come out,
okay.
they will.
You don't have to tell us if you don't want to.
I appreciate that, my friend.
And I
And I
will
will
make sure that we never have bees around the area.
I was going to say, I'll work to keep you safe from the bees. As long as you keep me safe from everything else.
Did like a quick like mental recap of everything I know about these modules. It was like, are there bees anywhere? Anywhere at all? Are there bees in this campaign?
Oh, there's going to be.
There's gonna be bees.
Yes.
A bee person.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Maybe I'll do like a Halloween event for Fate's version.
Oh my god.
Just the
Return of the
first
Bees.
quest from Fable, where you.
Oh yeah, I
the
forgot
giant
about
wasp
that.
queen.
Yep.
Oh, the worst.
Yeah, that's the worst. So, just setting the stage a little bit, you just watched Danis murderify 3 more trogs effortlessly. While he was still in his rage mode, stomping around, heading up the stairs, Aurelian had just opened a trapped chest, but nothing seemed to trigger. It may have already been triggered once before. And he located a little bit of a manifest and about 200 gold pieces. And that's where we left off.
I feel like,
Yes.
Danis was like in the middle of a sprint, wasn't he?
He was heading upstairs.
Right upstairs.
Yep, just straight
Okay,
up
yeah.
the stairs.
Well, if I putting myself back into last Monday, I think Lenosa's first instinct was to go right after him.
Yeah. Pond and I stayed back, but we collected the coins, read the ledger, and we're about to join them both upstairs.
All right. So you head upstairs, and Danis is Danis doing anything in particular? I assume just seeking out blood.
Yeah, he just kind of assumes that there's probably more threats in this house, and he's just trying to get to them and clear them out before they kind of realize that everyone in the downstairs is dead.
Okay. Roll me a perception check.
15.
15. 15 lets you know that this house is now empty. You have taken care of everything that was in here. It's just a small one-story, what looks like would have been a general shop or some kind of tavern, but not like, it didn't have an upstairs for sleeping or anything like that. So it's totally emptied out now.
Well, Danis will probably he'll pull the door, and he won't like try to catch her or anything. He'll just pull it open as hard as he can, kind of stomp through.
Where am I? Oh. Hi. What happened?
Danis, and she kind of like scratches at her cheek as if she's like trying to think about how to put this, but you are inside of the building that we were investigating, and you made very short work of some troglodytes downstairs. Amadi and Aurelian are down there still.
come
I
running
imagine we'll
up.
be up shortly.
Yeah.
Is everyone all right?
From us, yes. I cannot say the same for the troglodytes.
Oh, okay. Well, do we need anything from here? This is the stinky house, right?
It was. I get the feeling that it would no longer be described as such. And Lenosa kind of surveys the area around the both of them, maybe looking to see if there's anything important or anything that kind of catches her eye, I guess.
Yeah, roll perception.
Okay, I will roll the perception check. That will be an 11.
11. So you spend some time sifting through some rubble. From what you can tell, a fight took place here some time ago, not any time recent. Sort of like maybe the Trogs, you assume, came in and took whoever was here. They put up a fight, but since then it's just kind of completely abandoned, a little fire damaged, fallen apart, windows and doors boarded up. But you don't see anything particularly of importance or really useful.
Reminder from me, Sparrow. I think you said the sign outside said the Foaming Mug Inn?
I believe that it was either the Frothy or the Foaming Mug, but yes, it was an inn.
Okay, cool.
Do we make it upstairs during this time?
I assume that you do, yeah.
Okay, cool. Just there's no more troglodytes here.
It seems that there aren't. She says in response.
So, good work, Danis. We happened to find some things in the chest, though.
What did you find?
For starters, we got some gold, which is always nice to have on hand, but more importantly, we found a ledger. And it appears to have the names of possibly people from this town. Some of them crossed off, and I assume this gold could possibly be in payment for these people.
Was there anyone?
I'll hand over.
She pauses, and then she goes.
The list.
Okay.
To Lenosa.
She stops and reads it. And Nolan Sorelli's name was on this list, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. She sighs.
It appears we've, or at least they've found her.
I think we should see if our companions are finished with their work.
Sure. That's a great idea.
And she hands the ledger back to Aurelian.
Sure. Just fold it up, tuck it in.
Moves towards the door carefully, kind of sweeping to see if there's any like a loose floorboard or something, because you mentioned fire damage. So she's keeping an eye out to not like trip on something or like, have a dumb injury. Like,
Right.
But she's going towards the door to make it outside.
Yeah, you could easily make your way there carefully. The door is boarded up though, remember, so either you'll have to break out of it, or you all can very easily just go back downstairs and come out the cellar exit.
It's probably easier just to retrace our steps then, yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna go grab anything left behind.
Danis looks almost like embarrassed as he kind of like feels around and notices that he doesn't have two of his javelins.
Danis, why don't you let me do that?
Oh, okay. I'll open the door.
That would be perfect.
Yeah.
He just kind of like pulls out his great club and kind of like lines it up like a battering ram and just kind of runs straight at the door.
Do an athletics check.
Oh, jinkies.
Or athletics is dexterity, right?
No.
Or that is
acrobatics.
Okay, so I said the right one, athletics. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't making you do a dex. Yeah, you smashed that door open.
Valid.
Oh, Aurelian, I did it.
Nice. This is a fantastic job, my friend.
Yeah.
As Lenosa passed, I just wanted to thank her for doing that.
He just nods in response and then goes downstairs, grabs the javelins, and kind of wipes them off on a nearby surface if possible, so that they don't have that, and then brings them back.
That's so lovely.
Nice.
And she kind of has them both in one hand and kind of just presents them sharp side down to Danis.
Right on.
Here they are.
Oh, thank you.
You're quite welcome.
Oh, good as new.
Let's go meet up with our friends.
When he says good as new, she kind of like smiles to herself like, whew, thank goodness.
Roll deception. No, that's fine.
I must have missed.
Nope, not touching that one.
Not even responding.
All right. So it's about I think we established it's about midday at this point, maybe a little bit early afternoon. By the time you all were able to kind of do your specific tasks, so you can make it the quarter mile or so back to the ranger's farm from the decrepit inn that you were at. And when you walk in, you can find Nisa just toiling away on some stick of some kind, and Target's rolling around, being all happy and fixed up, and Rowan's
He's
there
like
and just
a little bit bigger. Than
just
he
a little bit,
just a little bit bigger.
maybe a little extra armor patch where he got slashed.
A little bulkier.
Yeah.
Oh, hi. I like turn
Hello.
my little chair that I made.
Now introducing the new target.
Target number 2.
Hopefully no target number 3.
Just
Now-
falls flat. they raise their eyebrows like, oh, I see.
No. It seems like you got quite a lot done in a very short amount of time.
Oh, you know me.
I
Somewhat.
supervised.
Are you feeling better, Rowan?
Yeah, I just, needed a long nap and some praying and maybe like some healing kit, but I'm fine now. I'm fine.
Sure.
She talked a lot, and it was all to her god or something.
It was to Shar, and we have very important conversations.
I'm so happy for you.
Did you?
But target number 2. Also, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. I respect your religion and all of you guys' religions, whatever they might be.
It's fine, and it's unconventional. I'm aware.
You guys want to hear more about Target?
Yes,
I
indeed.
would love to
Please say
see
yes.
Target in action. I'm sure Rowan has
Did you
heard.
say no, Dennis?
I'm afraid I don't know what you're talking about most of the time.
Oh. Okay. Do you guys want to hear more about Target?
We could probably.
I imagined when you were going to talk about Target, I expected more, and that you probably paid a lot less to create him.
I did. Yeah. Well, he, as long as he is in front of any of us, in between you and the person that you're attacking, and they attack you, he deflects it.
Like a shield.
So
Interesting.
now he's a friend to us all. Right. And the little target just makes a weird squeaking sound, but it's robotic and reverbed. And I'm like, we're working on some voice stuff. I haven't figured that out. He can't talk. I'm trying my best.
I'm hoping that eventually I can telepathically make him say hello. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Oh. I take out my little notebook and write a giant hello on there. Or a note to myself. Well, did you guys find anything? I see some blood, a little blood.
Yes. Aurelian, if you wouldn't mind.
We did. A few things. We split off, and Marty and I went to the church. We found the doors wide open, which was very surprising. The gates open, the doors open. We walked right into the church, and we were greeted by the priestess, which she happened to go by the name Misha, which I think is the name you had possibly heard in the middle of the night, Lenosa.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
That the creatures were speaking. She seemed on edge of our entrance, but I think she bought our disguises. And we tried to probe a little bit deeper. Amadi probed into her mind a little, and she was definitely on edge. I know she also wore an amulet around her neck of this snake mother, I believe it was, which can't be anything good. So
Hey,
it's
Nolan.
Yes.
Would I know anything about the Snake Mother?
Roll religion.
I believe it was
religion.
Was it the
She's religious.
Worm Lord? Something like that.
Yeah, so I can recap a little bit about the things your characters would remember, because I know human memory is a little less good at this kind of thing.
Aurelian's memory is way better. So.
Yeah, for sure. So the things that you heard being shouted at night, you remember that the voice was saying something about, wow, she sounds so stupid. Does she really think that's a good plan? I'm going to kill Misha and the Snake Mother and become Worm Lord myself, is what you remember hearing. You remember hearing the voice saying something about Misha wants to save them, but no, I will purge all the non-believers. Then you encounter Misha, and through Amadi's magics, you remember that, or you probe and find out that she's worried that the Snake Mother will be disappointed in her, and that she's wondering why you're there. And then Rowan's question, recognizing was there another question, or was it just Rowan wondering
Wondering if I would recognize the Snake Mother or anything related to like religion of their description.
Gotcha.
And I got a nat 20 on that roll.
a nat 20?
Nice.
You know what you learn with a nat 20 about the Snake Mother?
What do I do?
Nothing, because you don't know anything about the Snake Mother. You've never heard of this. In all of your studies of deities and godhoods and different religions, you've never heard of the Snake Mother.
Nice. I love it.
I mean, that's information.
I mean,
That's
it is.
true.
It
Sure.
is.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Rowan, have you heard of this Snake Mother?
Strangely, not at all. Not one bit. If anything, it could be new religion, occult. They're
Certainly.
dealing in human trafficking and Worm Lord this. I feel like this might not actually be connected to true deity.
Sure.
Lenosa kind of like is like her eyes are kind of like darting back and forth while she's listening to this. Rowan, I believe from what we learned of you not long ago, the goddess Merica is a goddess of agriculture. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, she's the maiden of changing the season. She's the one who carries it over from summer to fall to winter.
So what would she need with snakes? That doesn't seem to match up from anything I would know.
I mean, other than
Admittedly, not much, but
only thing I could think of is to try and cull rats, but I feel like this isn't a rat problem that we're dealing with here.
no.
Well, perhaps they found a new god or something like it.
Someone pretending to be a god would be very dangerous.
We did find a ledger in one of the houses that we entered. Smelled of stink.
Lenosa like leans over to Nisa. Troglodytes.
Gross.
But yes, so the ledger appears to have names of townsfolk on it, including the girl we're looking for. Was that name crossed out, by the way?
I realized it didn't specify at the end of the last episode, so I mentioned that some names were striked out, some had circles, and some had asterisks next to them. Hers is a circle with an asterisk.
I will hand it over to Rowan. Like, somebody smarter than I should probably take a look at this. And there's circles and slashes, asterisks. I don't know anything about this.
Could this be some type of like general trade shorthand that could recognize in the what is it called again? The knowing celebrity Avengers Scion feat thing. Sorry.
Tell me about that feat, and I'll let you know.
You may have known and met a number of powerful people in the land. Some might even remember you. You might bring the assistance of a major figure, and or might know some major like information. So if I've gone through a lot of Avengers, and this is like I guess.
Gotcha. So you might have picked up some trade secrets and some other kinds of little bits and bobs along your way.
Yeah. Only if it makes sense, of course. I feel like this might be OP.
Yeah. No. Is it just like you don't have to roll anything about it? It's just something that you would innately know through your travels.
Yes, but also if you would like for me to roll, I feel like that's fair.
Roll a. Let's do a history check. Is that intelligence based?
Yeah, think
yeah.
so.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
do history.
Bum bum bum. To not use D&D Beyond. Hey,
Yeah, do
not
not.
using D&D Beyond works again. So that's 16 plus 3, 19.
19.
Nice.
Okay, so you've spent some time on various trade ships and whatnot as you travel around the realms, and you're not exactly sure how it works, but you do recognize the circle cross asterisk sort of method of keeping shipping manifests. And typically, what it'll mean is crossed out things. They're not on the ship anymore. Through one means or another, either they were destroyed or they were stolen, they were sold. Either way, they're not on the ship anymore. Circled items are usually things that, they're in the process of being offloaded or are otherwise in some sort of status change, but not fully gone yet. And then asterisks are the wild card, of course, where something's a little special about this one for whatever reason.
Yeah, it seems here that it's the standard. I guess if we can translate it to a shipping order, crosses usually are, they're off, they're gone. I hope, I don't want to assume that, but they are no longer of that person's interest. And the circles, those are perhaps still into play, but these asterisks, that's something entirely I couldn't tell.
Interesting.
I should also say that the majority of the list is crossed out.
Not dealing with a lot of people.
Right.
Well,
Well, half a town. Right.
Alan did mention that a fair amount of people had just gone.
We strolled through the town. There was nobody about, which even for a small town is very odd.
Janice and I also did not encounter anyone on our way to the now former inn or back.
You would actually remember through the previous night and the morning, there was some evidence of people in their homes, and you do specifically remember seeing a little boy peeping out of one of the windows. But other than that, you haven't seen anything.
Okay.
So we have a bill of sale, but who exactly is receiving the money?
Well, it appears the troglodytes were possibly receiving the money. We recovered about 200 gold.
Wow.
Yeah.
What are troglodytes doing?
That's literally what I was thinking. What do reptiles have to do with gold? They're not running a shop.
Or going to a market, I assume.
Well, I'm not running a shop either, but I could definitely use some gold.
Well,
Or maybe it was a drop-off
Maybe-
point?
Maybe they took it from people.
They could have.
Makes sense. There are so many people off the list and enough coin purses and
Well, my concern is it was all held in a chest together. The gold, the ledger, seemed organized. But we did encounter that goblin before with those troglodytes. Did you see a goblin with the trogs last night?
I'm trying to remember if we did. That was out of character, obviously.
I believe that was Amadi was the one that looked and relayed all the
Yeah.
information. And Amadi, because they lacked dark vision, they were able to perceive 3 to 4 figures, maybe 5, but they weren't certain. But among them, couldn't say for sure if there was a goblin. Definitely a few troglodytes, the humanoid with the cloak and the painted face, but couldn't really tell on the last one if it was just another trog or if there was a goblin, but could have been, could not have been.
Troglodytes sorry, go ahead.
No.
The troglodytes seem like foot soldiers, if anything. Just extra muscle. They don't seem to have the brains to pull together something like this.
And then the goblins and perhaps the cloaked figure are running this for whatever deity or becoming said deity. Seems like a big operation.
Sure. Question is, do we think they're all held up at the church or somewhere else?
You didn't find anything while you were there? Or hear anything?
Nolan, did we hear anything? Did we hear anything else?
I assume you're talking about in the temple.
Yeah.
Okay, so the only thing that you really had time to notice, roll an insight actually to see if you can kind of put together some observations.
Ooh, okay, so that's 11 on the die, which is... that is 15.
15. Okay, so some key things that stood out during your brief interaction with Misha. She introduced herself as the priestess of the temple. She said that right now they're not taking any new members and they won't allow non-members within the temple, like beyond the main room.
Right.
You also noticed that for a temple, there was really no sign of any ornatories, like no gold candelabras, no like fancy like thrones, like those types of things that you would think would be common in a church or a temple were suspiciously absent. And it's not like, oh, instead of a gold throne, there was like a wicker chair or anything. They just like, it was not there.
So yeah, I'll relay all of that.
I would say you could probably take it one further and posit that maybe the temple's been looted.
What time of day is it?
I'd say it's about 2-3 p.m. equivalent.
So we kind of walked into the house in the middle of the day, like we were told explicitly not to.
He did say just make sure that like if you do, nobody's around and.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Didn't seem like nobody was around. Nobody saw us on our way in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Danis gonna kind of like creep outside while everyone's talking about this and just kind of make sure that there's no one around.
Yeah, roll perception.
I'm using all my good rolls early. 19.
19. To the right of you, to the right of the ranger's house, there's a small home which, by all accounts, appears to be empty and abandoned. To the left is the neighbors that Alan said had disappeared and then came back, but they don't appear to be out and about. And then in front of you is the little reservoir off the main river. So there's not really any place for anybody to be hiding or sneaking.
There's a fence, right?
Around the property, yeah.
Danis is gonna go with his birdseed and just kind of like sprinkle birdseed across the top of the fence
Aw.
to
I'm gonna
hopefully
notice
attract
this.
as many bird friends as possible.
I'm gonna grab my stick, and run after Danis.
Is it time?
Yes.
I just ditched the group.
Okay.
I'm like, religion, important stuff, cool, scary things. As I run out the door, just finger guns the group. But I noticed Danis like looking outside, and Nisa like takes more interest in that while the conversation mulls around her, and she goes and looks outside to see that he's like kind of like pacing the wall, like throwing his bird seed out, and she'll scuttle back to the group and be like, I'll be right back, and then grab the staff that I made that is larger than I am, and run outside.
Oh, all right.
It's like dragging behind me. I'm like, Danis, Danis, Danis.
He's out there just like whistling and putting the birdseed.
Oh, hello.
Hi. So I spent all night making this, and I really think you might like it. You say you like birds and stuff, and you said you like owl bears and stuff. So I made you this, and she holds up the stick. It's like hardly off the ground because it's so much larger than her, and it's like has very intricate carvings of different types of birds on it, and it has a like a spiral up at the top of wood, and it was clearly carved out, and it's really pretty, and it goes to a point at the bottom, but it has a little flat base to be safe, like a walking stick. And at the very bottom, she points out that there is a very tiny little carving of an owl bear because you asked for it. You said you like owlbears the most, so I made sure to add one. But here, you can use this. It's made of wood. There's no metal.
I can see that.
He kind of like takes it in his hands and runs his fingers over the carvings.
I've never gotten a gift before.
Well, don't you want to know what it does? Don't you want me to talk about what it does? Because I made it,
Shows
and it's really
our
cool, and I want to talk
friendship
to...
and-
Oh, yeah, but also it does other things.
Oh. Well, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay, so hold it up in the air like this. And I take my wrench and I hold it up with two hands out in front of me. Like, all right, hold it out like this.
Like this?
Like this. And then, whatever bird you're trying to call to you, say the name of that bird.
Kind of like looks around. He looks at one bird in particular.
Come here, Charlie.
Okay, no, not like that. Not like that. No, okay, so like maybe. So I like put the wrench down and it hits my leg. Okay, so not the ones that have names, but the. So let's say you want to call an owl bear. So you hold it out.
I don't want to do that.
Okay. I thought you liked them. So
I do, but they
what type of bird is Charlie? I don't know. You know more than me.
he's a swallow.
Okay, so then hold it out and say swallow.
Swallow.
And then the second that you say swallow from the staff, you hear bird calls of a swallow. And it would be in the direction that you point. So Charlie could be like right there, but it would be in the direction that you point. And hopefully a swallow comes. But sometimes you have to wait a minute. They could be kind of far away. But, oh, look, Charlie heard you. But you can do it for all the birds. Any bird that you can possibly think of, even eagles. I don't know if you can, like, control them or anything, but...
I don't know what to say. I appreciate you.
We're friends. That's what you said earlier. We'll take that.
We are friends. Thank
And
you.
that was like the best wood carving I've ever done. I did it all night. You can ask Rowan. But I don't know if she was paying attention because she was praying all night, but you can ask her if you wanted to.
Danis kind of like kneels down and like almost pets your head.
I'm still like half your height when you kneel down. Oh, well. I put your hand here and I just put my hands on top of your hand. And it looks like my pat emote. Anyway.
Here you go, Charlie.
And he puts some bird seed and just kind of like sprinkles it in front of Charlie.
Yeah. But also, it could be really useful in the future if you ever wanted to like call a friend. But remember, I put an owl bear on there specifically. So be careful. But if you say owlbird and hold it out and say owlbird, it'll do it. They'll come. I don't know how long it takes, but they'll come.
Well, that could be terrifying, but
Okay, well, not like
I
a
really-
swarm of birds, Danis. I mean, I guess it could be a swarm of birds. What?
have you ever seen an owl bear?
No.
They're much larger than people. Some are larger than me.
So are they dangerous?
Yes.
But you said they were your favorite.
Uh-huh.
Do you like them because they're dangerous?
No. I like them because they present a challenge for me and my people. And it's kind of ceremonial to hunt them down and to use their parts for, well, things around back home. They're extremely helpful.
I didn't imagine you to be a slaughterer. But I guess, actually, I take that back.
They're very ferocious and territorial. And wait, what do you mean?
Nothing. Just talking about how, like, you're dangerous sometimes, but you're protective of us.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah.
But like, you could call an owl bear and then try to be his friend. What if you held it out in front of you and said owl bear cub specifically?
I don't know, but I imagine the mother would be in tow and quite unhappy.
Oh, that's fair. You could also use it as a distraction. I like to do distractions. Remember when I made the cheese?
Yeah, maybe I'll do that.
Yeah.
He just kind of stares off into space, like looking up, thinking very, very hard.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So, I mean, if you want like anything else or other things, I'm trying to make everyone something so that they'll like me and that they'll think I'm useful.
Lisa, we all like you. We all think you're useful.
Oh, well. Okay, good. We should probably go back. I don't know what they're talking about anymore, but Target's in there and I don't know. He could have gotten into something. Anyway, I'm gonna go now.
I have no
an
idea what
idea.
they're talking about anyway, so...
Rowan's quickly jumping away from the window because she totally was watching that entire
Same. Just kind of like, like behind the curtains.
I'm gonna hang out with the birds, but this does mean a lot.
And he kind of holds it close to his chest and starts to walk around the perimeter with it, still sprinkling birdseed. And as you go inside, he gives you a big wave.
You can add a staff of bird calling to your inventory. Plus
Nice.
owl bear. And I run back to the group.
Yeah, as you come in, Aurelian will be wiping his eyes, and they're a little red, but it's fine. Anyways, so that
Thanks.
plan we were making.
You guys didn't talk at all while I was gone?
No, we were talking about everything. We were talking about the plan and the snakes and the
Yeah, especially the snakes.
the birds
I
and
look at
the
Target, and Target just nods his head no.
Target.
I thought we were friends. We had hours together.
You're not supposed to be
I
birds. Yes.
Well, do you have a plan? I'm not the plan maker, but
Well, we.
I have a kind of plan.
What's your plan?
It assumes that people are good. That sounds really bad. I know it sounds really bad.
I mean, I assume all people are good.
We should consider it.
So you described like the temple, and it was pretty laid bare. And assuming that I would hope that people of the cloth, although sometimes not, are good people and serving a goddess to the best of their ability, that they didn't have any offerings, so they might have been looted. So if we perhaps appeal to them about returning their goods, then perhaps they can give us the information in return.
Well,
I know that you already talked to them, so that's kind of like
the person at the church had they wore the amulet of the this snake mother. They may not even be the people of the cloth that they claim to be. You know,
that's true.
if we assume they are good, these people might not be. I don't know. It sounds like they're fighting for the attention of this snake mother to be this worm lord or whatever they call themselves. But I like the idea of not rushing in there and starting a fight right offhand.
I think it might be worth trying to know more about the snake mother and the practices, perhaps. If we know how the operation works and how they're fighting for this position, perhaps we can either disrupt that or become it ourselves. I put that in the quotation marks because I don't that be betraying, sure, of course. But it would give us the authority to return to the people to whatever state that they were.
Well, it seems like we would have to ask some questions, and I don't know, maybe with all of us, we could interrupt one of their midnight caravans.
But, like, what if they ask us questions, like a secret code or something?
Well, we can ask them questions forcefully.
If there's one thing I know about people and things, is that they love to talk about the things that they're excited about. So if we ask them about the snake mother, I almost called snake mommy. Dang you, chat. Sorry, mommy. Sorry, mother. Then, if we asked about that, then maybe they'll reveal information that they probably didn't intend to, because out of their excitement. Because we're just initiates, you know.
Lenosa kind of puts like the two finger up, countering that. Bringing up the snake mother may set them on alert and go very poorly for us if it is not something that we are meant to know about.
Well, if it's the troop that was patrolling with their wagon last night, I can't imagine they will be terribly friendly anyways. They might be. The priestess at the temple was cautious, but not necessarily looking to fight with us. Otherwise, I think she would have at that time.
Now, did you mention her pendant or anything?
No.
Of a snake variety to her?
No. We noticed it, but we were under the guise of being guardians and protectors of the fallen, merely clergymen seeking refuge and travel. And so we didn't want to blow our cover that way.
Lenosa's brow furrows, and she kind of sighs heavily, and then she looks around. Aurelian, you and Amadi mentioned that via Amadi's ability to read her mind, she was very on edge and very nervous about this snake mother. It is my opinion that mentioning this snake mother will only go poorly for us. And violence is not usually my first inclination, but I get the feeling that we would get more from our weapons than we would with our tongues.
I agree. We could also combine the two, weapons first, tongues later, in a manner of speaking. But without walking directly into the snake's den, as it were, if we could question, obviously we haven't had very many conversations with these troglodytes that we've encountered, but they may be a good place to start. Unless you think that we should go directly to the church.
Let's take a look at the map in Roll20 real quick.
Bum, ba, bum, bum, bum.
So, you see that... Yeah, perfect. Pretty much everything on the screen at this point, basically the northern half of Drellin's Ferry, that seems to be all that's left that's inhabited. Everything south of the imaginary line that is that southern bridge on the reservoir, everything below that, not a trace of life. Alan has kind of told you everything south of that bridge is abandoned at this point. So you really don't have much to work with in terms of, or not that you don't have much to work with, but in terms of the sheer number of places and opportunities, it's not many people that you could talk to. So you're bound to get some information. Just really depends on how you want to go about it. Are you going to mention the Snake Mother? Are you going to come up with a ruse to get people talking? That's the $1 million question.
It is, Lenosa starts, my opinion that deception and subterfuge is our best bet. I think if we mention the Snake Mother, we will find out very quickly why this town is so sparse in a manner that we are not exactly willing to find out in.
Cool.
I mean, we could pretend we're part of the cult.
Or initiates.
Yeah.
Don't look at my camera. He did not look and give you facial tells.
We certainly could. We just may have a hard time pretending to be them if we have no inclination of what they're about. I trust you would have heard of them, Rowan, but
it would be much easier, I think. Lenosa kind of just looks away if we knew something about this Snake Mother, but I fear mentioning this Snake Mother to the wrong person will quote unquote blow our cover,
well,
as it were.
I say then we ask the right person. That we can handle if things go south.
And make sure that we seem like the right people. I know that there is the assumption that all worshippers of Shar are on the opposite end of the good-evil spectrum, so perhaps I could try and undercover that way. Anything.
Yeah.
We could definitely... It sounds like a good plan to start. And if things go differently, then we can ask questions more forcibly. You know?
Fair. If I may, and Lenosa gestures to Danis and herself, I feel like we stand out more than most.
It might be good to not...
With a slow blink, like we tall as hell, we would be like obvious.
If you look outside, Danis is just kind of like skipping and tossing birdseed. Look very happy and jovial.
Yes, I would agree.
Might be good to have a trail or tail of some sort, a certain distance.
Yeah.
Nisa, could you possibly create these pendants if we could describe it to you?
Yeah, I just need some time. I can write it all down. What does it look like? Do you have the best possible description? Can you do art? Can you just all the details? Every corner, every inch, every mile. Let's go.
I will do my best to to describe it. I don't know what I don't know what Amadi's abilities are, but between the two of us, maybe work on describing it.
I could perhaps unorthodoxly use telepathy and transfer the mind picture from you all to Nissa, so photographic memory transfer. Mental faxing.
When this image appears in Nissa's mind, she's just like,
oh, I'm sorry. I should have asked first.
wow. I can see it all, and I'm just like quickly like drawing it out because I'm like, wow. How long have you been able to do that?
For a while now. Not really used to using it that much though.
That is incredibly useful.
Does it look like this? Did I draw it right? Literally a picture of a clock already drawn on here. Don't mind me.
It looks great.
Okay. Yeah. It'll take me like 4 hours.
So is our plan to perhaps wait for the night? I don't know what to call it.
Nightfall.
The night. It has the wheels. and carries
Caravan,
things. Yes, a caravan. Night caravan, and then try to speak with people in the morning.
It is still pretty early in the afternoon if you
Yeah.
wanted to try to get some questioning in while Nisa was crafting.
Do remember, if we are up against troglodytes, they are weakest during this time, and
True.
at night would probably be much more difficult. Not to say that we shouldn't, but if Sorelli is nearby, I would like to spare her from any danger.
Sure. Do we? Which path did the wagon take?
Yeah, so I will mark that real quick for you. I've also marked on the map, you can see there's a little green check mark on the ranger's house where
Nice.
you're currently staying. I put a little orange question mark on the temple because obviously some strange things are going on there, though you haven't quite figured out exactly what. And then lastly, there is the red X on the inn that you were just at where you killed the troglodytes and everything. But as far as the path, you heard them kind of go by the house around this corner here to the north of the reservoir. And Danis was able to sort of track the tracks into the inn that you'd already cleared. But you weren't able to find any tracks going up towards the temple.
So, another possible angle, perhaps the representatives of this cult meet with them at this house. Maybe that's where they make their exchanges.
Well, in that case, they may find that there are several dead troglodytes there and start asking questions. And Lenosa kind of looks around at all of us and then kind of like leans over to look like out the window at Danis. We may need to move quickly because we are the new ones in town, so to speak. So we will probably be high on their list.
Then maybe we move quickly and plan to spend some time there, maybe a night. They may come visit, and then we may have questions.
There's nothing wrong with this. Nisa, or do you have the equipment? Can you bring that to the house, perhaps?
I can. Yes. And I just pull up. My whole desk is just completely ruined, but I take the corners and it just magically turns into a bag and I throw it over my shoulder. It's a tiny little bag.
That is incredibly
Wow.
impressive.
Yeah, you know, it's like the on-the-go artificer shop.
Is that trademarked? Is that your own brand?
It probably shouldn't even. It probably should get a better name first.
I would purchase one.
Also, Aurelian,
Yes,
thank you for asking me to make stuff.
of course. But you
It's the only thing I know how to do.
There's plenty
you
of
do a
other
lot of
stuff you
things, but
I meant. Okay. Thank
do a
you
lot
for the
of things.
compliments.
can. You can't take them back now.
I won't.
so say we find a new place to hang out today, or is there anything else we want to do before then?
If anything, I'm restless. I'm ready.
It may come to nothing, you know, there's no guarantee, but it could pan out.
Here's hoping.
Believe. And I
Oh,
walk
I
out like.
completely forgot. Is anyone... Quick injury check. Raise your hand if you've been injured in the recent troglodyte. Yes, no? Everyone okay?
Dennis did not allow an opportunity for that.
Believable. Believable. Good job. Cool. Awesome. Yeah.
Did Danis murder anything?
Ah, what?
Yes.
Did he remember it?
No.
Let's all agree not to bring that up.
Do we think that he would hurt us if we told him?
No. We talked to him. We talked to him at that camp with the troglodytes, and
That's true.
he wasn't aware that he did it, but I think he just doesn't understand. But
I don't know. He seems pretty smart to me. He seems to really, really be knowledgeable about the way that the Earth works and the way that animals think and feel. And I think that that's a smartness in its own.
sure, I think.
No, what do I roll to see if Nisa has a crush? No, I'm joking.
Roll for animal handling.
Is Janice an animal?
Is he?
Are you a secret druid?
Druid.
Secret druid.
When Rowan asked if anybody was injured, I don't know why, but I immediately thought, if you or a loved one was diagnosed with mesothelioma, you are entitled to financial compensation.
I just, like, Jen doesn't think that Danis is stupid. Like,
No.
I think barbarians are always kind of put into that hole, but I definitely don't think Danis, the character, is dumb. So I want to explore that.
Yeah, me too.
Why don't you remember things? Like, what would happen if you did? Yeah.
Maybe he multi-classes into druid.
When we explained it to him, he didn't remember, but when we explained that he had protected us, he was relieved, at least in some sense. I don't know how he took it, but he seemed to fare better with that understanding.
That's true.
His beliefs are anything like other druids, then it's the will of nature. You protect your own loved ones, and if it comes down to it, then you protect the people that you care about, because that decision for the violence was made probably by the other person anyways. It's just the will.
You know.
Nisa, like, flips the bag over her back and goes, or maybe he has anger problems, and then walks out the door to go stand near Danis outside.
It could be a bit of both.
Danis is very gently trying to catch a butterfly in his hand.
Pigeon?
Well, shall we make our way
Charlie.
there quietly?
Yes.
Sure. And you know, just in case, and she's going to incant and celestial and pop bless for our less than stealthy individuals.
Nice.
So, who's less than stealthy?
In theory, I'm stealthy.
In theory. The thing is that Lenosa is actually, like, pretty good.
Oh, she's super stealthy.
You know what? I'll choose myself, Nissa, and Danis for the...
As Rowan is saying this, Lenosa's just gone. I'm kidding. Just kidding.
And then Lenosa, and I turn around and there's nothing. Like, counting your friends to make sure that everything's okay before you head out.
Actually, screw it. Nolan, can I roll stealth to see if I have left in this time? Sure. Go outside.
How does she do that?
Oh, boy. Give me that 23.
Roller perception. See if you notice Lenosa beating you to it.
Probably.
Oh, hold on. I might.
Oh, wait. Perception 23. I'm not joking.
21.
Oh, wait,
Nope.
no. Oh, wait. 18 plus 6. That's that. 24.
24.
Oh,
Okay.
motherfucker.
So everybody, Lenosa
not
just
even
Batman to
joking.
everyone except Rowan, and they were just like, oh, I'll let that one slide.
I turned to the area of which Lenosa was supposed to be, and like, I am not surprised. I'm slightly frustrated by this, but healer's intuition, I know that they are okay.
How is she so good at that?
I don't understand. Where did she go?
She's
This is
probably
nice.
already on her way. All right, I'm heading forward and
Danis, we're leaving.
I'm looking out for Lenosa.
Over by Dennis.
Okay.
Just watching him spread birdseed. Just
I like to take up the rear and just like do like another sweep over past Aurelian's sweep, I believe.
Yeah, everybody roll perception. I assume you're taking the northeastern way around the reservoir down towards the temple and then south to the building.
Okay. Yes.
I got a 20 save.
Oh,
Sorry, perception. You said 21. I got a nat 20 plus 1.
heck yeah.
23.
Ooh.
I got a 12.
you,
My
nat
rookie
20s?
rolls have
I know.
run out.
Okay. So a couple of things, and you can, if you choose to halt your adventures at any point, just let me know. I'll just kind of tell you what you see on the way. Once again, you see the neighbor's house, or Alan's neighbor's house. The couple is out in the field working it today. Up to this point, you've definitely sensed that they were present, but you haven't physically seen them. But today, they are out working their fields. The house on the south side of the road, you don't really see any indication of anybody doing anything, but it seems well kept. It's not abandoned that you can tell. And then further down on the road, just across from the temple, it's the same house where you saw the little boy peeking through the window, but he's actually sitting out on the porch. And as he sees you all coming, he dashes inside. These houses here, I think, are just for flavor. I don't know why I put them there. And then you can arrive at the former inn.
May I do a quick, slightly retroactive insight
Sure.
check into the little boy? See how he's doing, if he looks like he's hungry or no.
Yeah, your perception
General
check would have been able to notice that he seemed fine. He didn't seem like he was malnourished or otherwise abused. He just saw you all coming and was like, "Nope, go inside."
Cool. I also found a cat in my travels.
Oh, hey, look at that. It's a chat. A cat, not chat. A cat.
Look,
That'd
it's a
be weird if
chat.
Chat just suddenly appeared. So I assume you go in. Are you going to go into the cellar? Are you going to try to wait on the first floor? What's the plan of action here?
I say we should probably stay inside, and if someone makes their way inside to visit, we greet them quietly at first. Does anyone else have any thoughts?
I think Nolan is asking if we're staying upstairs or downstairs.
Yes, in the end. Yep.
Yeah. Well, the front door was barred before we changed that.
Yes.
So perhaps it would be. Let me do this in character. Sorry, Lenosa kind of just like rubs her cheek again with her index finger. Perhaps we should wait upstairs, and that would possibly give us a good ambush position if anyone enters the cellar.
Yeah.
Is there any place to hide downstairs? This is out of character, but is there any
Not particularly. You might be able to hide behind some barrels or anything, but it's not really set up for good hiding. You could probably move some things around and make a good hiding place, though.
What's our story in this? What's our story in this instance? Say they come
I'm
in.
looking to join the cult of the snake. Maybe? No?
And when they say, "Where are our friends?"
Swords.
What friends?
My friends
kidding,
are
I'm kidding.
here amongst the other cultists of the snake.
Aurelian points at the dead troglodytes.
That too.
they may ask questions.
So
Good.
are we going to try and have a ruse that we are joining said cult, or are we just going to interrogate them?
It sounds like you're going to just kind of figure that out in the moment. They're going to show up, maybe. You're going to say, "We're here to join the cult." And if they say, "Cool, here's your pendants," cool. If they say, liar, then stabby stab.
We're from the snake cult another town over. We're a separate chapter. We're just meeting here. Like,
What were you gonna say, Dennis?
I think someone said something about dead troglodytes, which I don't remember, but that's not important. We could probably, I think there was a lake around back.
that would be a good place to place them.
Unless they float.
Oh, we can tie rocks around them. I'll do it.
Experience with that?
Maybe.
Don't want to know why you know that, but yes, you are absolutely correct.
I do worship a goddess of death.
It is completely fair.
Know some things. She laughs
I'll help you,
happily
Rowan.
and then walks away like that's completely normal. Because it is.
Are we doing this, Rowan? Are we grabbing the bodies? I start like adjusting all the bags so that they don't fall off.
Yeah. Hang on one sec. And she's going to cast enhanced ability on herself for the. I can't find it, but for the one that makes you stronger.
Full strength?
That's what I was going to say.
Nice.
That one to help with the carrying of the bodies.
All right. So you're going to dump the bodies in the lake with some rocks tied to them to make them sink.
Yo.
Roll a stealth check, whoever's doing that.
I will, but it'll be with disadvantage.
But with a plus. Oh wait, no, that's only for saving.
That's for you, I think. Yeah, for your enhanced abilities, just you.
But I did give you.
Oh right, I forgot.
Plus.
Yes.
Right.
I figured this exchange hasn't been left like more than like 10 minutes. Holy crap! Nemo just rolled 7 d20s.
Good job, Nemo.
Fireball.
But the first one out of the 7 was a 20, so not 20 on this.
Nat 20 on stealth. All right.
Yeah, Nemo!
Nemo was a lucky baby.
Cats
And
rolling nat 20s.
14.
All right. Well, we will find out if you. Let me rephrase that. Sorry.
Find out if you just rocks fall and everyone dies in a minute.
Yeah.
1 minute.
Right on. So yeah, with the fact that the town's not very active at the moment, you feel absolutely confident that you are able to dispose of these bodies in the reservoir with nobody noticing.
Well, bonding activity.
Just a little corpse disposal to bond over, yeah.
I drag him and Nissa ties the rocks.
Perfect. I'm doing the dirty work, I see, Nisa. I just said my own name. I meant Rowan. I'm sorry.
I'm the one who spent a spell slot.
Rowan.
My one whole spell slot to be strong.
I'm just like crying, throwing the rocks over the bodies of the trogs. No, Nisa wouldn't be crying. She's actually totally fascinated by dead things and what they offer. She ties them up and just follows Rowan's guidance, throwing them into the water.
I have like a conveyor belt kind of going on situation.
Was taking them back.
Body disposal conveyor belt.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And then I assume that afterward we just make our way back to the house. So please.
Absolutely.
Rowan,
Mhm.
you could have anything in the world that could make your life easier. What would it be?
Make my life easier.
Or, make you stronger, make you feel better about your ability.
I don't know. I mean,
Because you seem really strong and it confuses me. Not because strong women aren't everywhere, because we love them. But I mean, you're so strong that I don't know how I can help you.
I mean, there is a weapon that I'm waiting to be able to wield back home, but for now, I stick to spears. So, spears are nice. I like them. They're long, pointy, but far-ish away. Yeah.
Okay.
but I also use magic, so either or. I'm a very flexible person, and anything that you can think of that would actually make me really happy.
Well, I make magic items, so
Even
letting you
better.
know. Even better. I'll put some thought to it.
Oh, I do have a request though. If you do, I
Love
would
requests.
prefer if you could maybe inscribe the symbol of Shar for me. That'd be great.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be cool. I can do that.
Do you mind if I send it through your brain? Is that okay?
Oh yes, the
Brain message.
brain message. Yeah, that'd be fine.
And then Rowan is just like really excited and then sends over the image. And Nissa sees a circle. That's the image. That's the insignia of Shar is a circle.
She's just like,
A circle
where is
within a
it?
circle. It's a very important circle within a circle.
Okay.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Yeah, I'm excited. That'll be cool. Just gonna work on that. Nisa like
reach
gets
out
real
back.
awkward. She like doesn't know how to talk to Rowan very well. So she's just like humming to herself. Just gonna get on that, and yep.
Is there anything that you wanted, actually?
Well, I've actually never been able to just not make what I want. So I've always had what I wanted, except, my shop. So what I really want is to get that back and prove to my family that I can do it.
Well, if there's one thing that, traveling with my dad's always taught me is that every single little adventure that we do, every single person that we help, every bad person that we defeat, that adds to our legacy. So if you adventure enough, then that's free advertisement for your shop.
True. So new goal, become famous hero with the group?
I mean, people buy things more from famous people. And
That's
whenever we're done, it could be like our weapons made by Nissa True Gem. Could even, I'd happily show off weapons I've made by you.
Oh, well, that's so nice. There's so many ideas I have for my shop. I just need the money to do it. But money has been flowing lately, so I have good hope. Lots of hope. Lots of hope.
Hope is a good thing.
It's all we have. Sometimes.
I just imagine the party fighting a band of raiders on a trade road or something, and some people walk by and as you're slashing somebody needs a true jab sword.
I like to think it's like the adventurers version of This Dress Has Pockets, and you'll be like, "Oh, that's a sick brass knuckles you have." It's also it's magical. Needs a true gem. That's the kind of vibe I'm thinking. Did you know that it's also magical?
Fade to black just says "He's a true gem" on the on the end of the little commercial.
Maybe it's blessed. Maybe it's a true gem.
Write it down. Write it in the book.
7 of these goblins were killed with a vicious weapon. Oh, I know exactly where they got the weapon from. Look at this goblin's throat. It's backwards, but it says Nissa True Gem in the throat.
Calling cards.
Branded slaughtering.
Yes.
Calling cards, but they're just coupon code.
10% off.
Use code Dead Goblin to get 10% off.
God.
Nissa True Gem sword.
Bring in this dead goblin to get 10% off your first purchase. Good.
All right, so we're are we just killing time? Getting to know each other? Just
yeah.
waiting for sundown, see what happens?
Oh, I can ask everyone questions.
Oh, I'm sure that you
Everyone's
can.
like, please.
Leno, so what do you think about this whole thing?
You mean the plan?
The plan,
Perhaps?
this snake god, this...
Nolan, would Lenosa know? Would Lenosa hear anything about like snake, like anything regarding like snakes? Not necessarily like the animal itself, but just like there's clearly like a type of worship. So it's clearly not a god because we've kind of gone down that road. But like anyone that like thinks themselves a god, or like is it just like a substitution for some like an order or something like that? Does that make sense? Does my question make sense?
I believe I understand your question.
Okay.
Roll a religion.
Okay. Which ain't her strong suit, believe it or not. But we're gonna go ahead and roll
As
with
a
the
monk?
19 I was given.
Hey, you know what? 19's not bad. So, it's sort of common knowledge. Maybe not exactly common knowledge, but the way that sort of the deities work in this universe is that if you praise something and get enough people praise it, it's literally like a spirit bomb, like giving it power by sending it your thoughts and prayers. So really anything could arise to the level of a deity if they had enough support, if they had enough prayers, if they had enough tribute. There's whole species of creatures that revolve around creating deities just by thinking that they're a deity. So as far as this specific thing, you've definitely never heard of anything mainstream relating to snakes and snake mothers and that kind of thing. But it's not it wouldn't be too much of a stretch to think maybe it's some creature that thinks themselves a god or goddess and is trying to amass power.
Our client says, with enough Twitch follows, you become a deity. How do I get there? Anyway. Sorry. Sorry. Anyway. So Lenosa kind of just like is doing a similar pose as to what I'm doing, which is like kind of just resting her head on top of her hands, and kind of just reiterates that by saying, I think that what we are dealing with is just as dangerous as the followers of an actual deity. I think we're dealing with someone who is aiming to, or believes themselves a deity already. So that results in my trepidation, but I think that if we don't find any answers via this method, that my desire would be to go to the temple and find out more there myself.
I think our thoughts are in alignment. You know, they say the best way to deal with the snake is to cut the head off. And I've done a lot of things. But human trafficking is disgusting. And I would be happy to cut the head off of this one.
Mm-hmm. When Aurelian says the trafficking bit, you can kind of like see Lenosa bristle a little bit. Not necessarily at him, but just in general.
So,
and her jaw is very set, and she just kind of nods.
I'm on board if this doesn't pan out, or if we need to get answers. We can take them.
But here's hoping that we find out what we need to know via this avenue.
Agreed.
And she like reaches at her belt and picks up the brass knuckles that Isa has made her, and just kind of casually slips them on, and is just like kind of like flexing her fingers, getting a feel for them. We'll see how useful these are.
Looking forward to it.
And as you're talking here, just sort of preparing, gathering your thoughts, working things out amongst yourselves, you do go ahead and gain the benefits of a short rest.
Cool.
Cool. So in that case, I would have made the requested items from Aurelian as well.
What are those?
You asked me to make the little like amulet things.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Perfect. Yes. I was like, oh, what are you talking about? Sorry. Yes.
She faxed the image into my brain.
Again, Aurelian has a much better memory than I do. Perfect. So we'll do our best cultist impressions and.
Oh, Rowan's muted. I saw your mouth moving.
Yeah, I was. I was just going to say that during this Rowan short rest, she's going to adjust her spells to help poison for troglodytes. So people know that you're going to be helped with poison, but please don't actually still breathe in the poison. It's only resistance, not immunity.
Mm-hmm. Aurelian, Lenosa kind of takes a pause and then, not really looking him in the eye, but kind of keeping her eyes on the knuckles, the brass knuckles. You said the servant's name was Misha?
Misha. Yeah.
Right. That is now coming back to me. I do remember hearing that name from Amadi. An old master of mine happened to impart a technique that I think may be useful. Should we go and find Misha? I am able to manipulate the key around particular spaces and items, and I think that we can stop her from calling for help. Should we go and find her, I can manipulate the key around her to make it so that she cannot call for help.
Would be incredibly useful.
Lenosa is kind of doing her own way of describing a monk casting the spell silence.
Nice.
For those who don't know, because she has that ability. So just gonna throw that at Aurelian's head there.
Yeah.
And I think that should we need to, I can use it here as well.
I think that will be very, very valuable.
And are you talking to yourselves, or could like everybody else hear?
I mean, I wasn't trying to be stealthy about it, so if you overheard it, go for it, by all means.
Yeah, I'll just pop my head in. Maybe, after Rowan's probably just in the corner doing some incantations, but interrupting on your incantations, she says, and I can also help and cast a aura compelling them to speak the truth if they are really uncomfortable. So they would most likely want to speak the truth.
I think we'll have a lot of control.
We have a solid interrogation technique-ish.
It beats my plan.
Nisa is just shocked that you have like the zone of truth or whatever, but she just is like wide-eyed, like, what? You can do that? That's a thing? Behind you, just non-verbally.
I mean, yeah. It's not infallible. It's just the will of the goddess highly, highly suggest that they tell the truth. They can still break out of it, but from what I've been told, it is not the most comfortable feeling.
I was just going to punch them until they told us the truth. So that is a much better plan. So thank the goddess.
I mean, if it ain't broke.
How should I help?
If we need to punch something really hard, you would be the one to ask.
Okay.
Also, it seems like you notice a lot about like nature and how like the surroundings and the animals are doing. So I would assume that if there were enemies near or troglodytes near, then not only would we react to the smell, but the animals too. So that would be really helpful.
Oh, that would be.
You can always
Also-
call an owl bear.
Maybe not.
It
no.
was.
Oh, okay.
She made me this really cool walking stick, but apparently it can call birds and an owl bear.
He kind of like looks very timid and very tense as he says this.
I also have since learned to speak to animals, and I can do that. So maybe I could ask an eagle friend if they see anything. If we don't want to be outside and we don't want to get caught.
He's kind of like drawing a design with the bottom of the walking stick into the floor.
Just a thought. We don't
That
have
is
to.
a brilliant idea, Dennis.
I would just make sure we have a snack.
Think
I've
so?
heard that they're pretty. The predatory birds are very. What was the word Daddy used? Uppity. So
Oh,
if you can find a
I've
rat.
got plenty of bird seed.
Perfect.
Wow.
This
Are
is
we
a-
gonna do it? We doing it now?
This is a
He's
great
just like-
plan.
Yeah,
I mean-
Let's do it.
Darkness has begun to onset in this little town. It's about to be nightfall. Just the tiniest little traces of rays of sun poking through the trees. So there's really not much more time for preparation. It's go time with this plan.
Lead the way.
Or are you leaving or are you staying in?
So are we
Did I
gonna
misunderstand?
wait? I think we're waiting inside. Is that right?
That's what it sounded like. It sounded like you were
Okay.
going to just kind of wait inside and wait for someone to show up and not try to hide, but be in a strategically advantageous position if someone were to show up. So an hour passes. It gets a little bit darker. Another hour passes. Darker still. Another 2 hours pass. It's right about the middle of night. So far, haven't really seen or heard anything.
I'd like to prepare an action that if, in the event that there are people that walk in who are troglodyte-ish, then I would like to cast protection from poison on Lenosa.
Okay. And everybody roll a perception.
Right.
22. 19.
I got a 8.
11.
13.
13. All
At
right.
an unnatural 20.
Ooh, heck yeah.
Unnatural 20.
Un.
Nisa and Aurelian noticed the house is a mimic.
Nice.
Not again.
Happy Halloween! No. You hear some footsteps outside. They're not like the footsteps that were heard the first night, stepping around, and they're definitely they're not really even walking with purpose. It's more of like you'll hear a pip, 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 and then like it'll be quiet for a while, and then like pip, 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 pip. Like somebody may be sneaking around, or at least moving intermittently. And that's you and Nisa, by the way, Aurelian. Aurelia and Nisa hear that.
Sounds like there's somebody moving around.
I mean, we're like the squishy ones.
Should.
If you want to go check it out, I'll follow you. We could send Target, actually.
Where do we exactly hear them?
You just hear it.
Just around.
Yeah, you can't quite get a directionality on it. If anything, it's to the east of the inn. Like it's definitely not coming from the west side, but that's really the only directionality.
Like look out the windows and see if I see anything.
Roll another perception.
Okay. Ooh, same roll. 22.
22. So you can kind of like peer through some slits in the boarded up windows, and you see north up the road, kind of jumping and rolling and trying to be stealthy as possible, from bushes to trees to little structures. There is an Amber Alert. No. There are 2 elven creatures.
Very interesting.
What do you see?
It looks like there are 2 elves, maybe, sneaking their way up the road, trying to be sneaky.
I wonder if it's another group that is trying to find other people that are missing.
Could be. We should tell everyone, let them know. They may be coming. They may be coming here. Psst, everyone!
Hey, everyone!
It's like there's two people.
Sorry, are they walking towards the church, or are they walking towards?
They're walking, or yeah, they're moving north towards.
Oh,
the
heading
temple.
towards the church. Okay.
Got it.
So it looks like there's 2 people trying to make their way stealthily over towards the church.
Do we go after them, guys? Anybody? What do we do?
Well, if we go after them, I believe we would be abandoning our current post.
I mean, you're right, but also
Maybe some of us could try to keep an eye on them.
If we were to prevent one or both of them from making it to the church, I could make a convincing double.
That is a great idea. Maybe.
I can change the way I look. It's something I've been able to do since I was born.
Oh, I was wondering.
cool.
I thought maybe you could make 2 of you.
Oh, no.
Oh,
You could.
I'd be able to get so much more done.
That is true.
I am willing to go out. I don't know if, should we all go? Should some wait? Should we?
It would be like twice as much. Oh, yeah, we should go.
Yes. Is
Not
everybody
to tell you what to do, but don't people have invisibility, or does it not last that long at this level?
I have an invisibility potion, but
Mine only lasts a turn.
Oh, okay. So
6
it's like
seconds.
real quick. Gotcha. I was wondering.
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
don't
why
have
are you-
anything.
It
Yeah.
doesn't. It specifically does not say like a duration. It just mentions that it dissipates on my next turn.
well,
How far
my
away
potion
are
of
they?
invisibility lasts for an hour,
Ooh.
so I could go.
And you got that in the cellar of the wizard's tower?
Correct.
How far away are they right now?
I don't think this map is set up to scale, but I would say, just looking at this, 200, maybe 300 feet.
All right, cool. I can't detect their thoughts. That's really far.
Lenosa, do you want to go or do you want backup? Do you want to go together?
I can go.
Do you want somebody to come with you or no?
I feel like it would be a really bad idea. But then again, it's the potion is what makes Lenosa safe, and we don't have another one of those.
Lenoso can leave the town and never be seen. I honestly trust Lenosa to do it.
Okay.
And at least get information.
All right. She makes her way outside, and as soon as she's outside, she drinks the potion. Goodbye, potion. I will miss you.
I'll miss you.
And she heads after them as quickly as she can.
All right. Roll a stealth check. With advantage, because you are invisible.
That is pretty helpful.
Oh, never mind. It's pass without a trace that adds 10, right?
I believe so,
Okay.
yeah.
Just kidding then.
Well, they're both 23, so.
Well,
Okay.
Yeah. Let's go.
all right. So you are able, being invisible, you don't really have to worry about being seen. You just got to focus on not stepping on anything that's going to make a noise or anything like that. So they are at this point sneakily trying to head up the path to the temple. And you can pretty easily follow them and keep up with them. They're not talking at the moment. They're just kind of operating in silence. And you see one of them sort of scrawl something on the on one of the big, or you haven't been here before, so up this main path is it's sort of an aisle of big trees, and the path ends at big stone doors that it's a wall that surrounds the entire temple grounds. And you see one of them sort of scrawl something. It's not visible to you, but you see them very clearly writing something on this stone door. And then they move over to the other one, very similar motion. They kind of look at each other and nod, and then they begin heading back down the path, south along the trail. Do you want to follow them and see where they're going?
I would like to quickly look and see what they scroll to see if I could check it, because my fear as Sparrow is that by the time we see this later, it could be gone or manipulated in some way.
Okay.
So I would like to do that first.
Yeah, they're moving somewhat slowly because they are trying to be stealthy, so you can quickly make your way up there and try to get some kind of information on what's going on. Roll an Arcana check.
Oh, Papa bless, that's a nat 20.
Hey!
Let's
I was
go.
so scared because it was teetering for a second. I was like, Jade, no!
Oops.
So looking at this, it is faded almost immediately into nothingness, but you catch just the faintest hint of the runes that were scrawled. And because they're fading, you can't make out exactly what was cast, but it is some kind of protection spell.
Okay, and now I'm going to head after them. I'm going to try and stay downwind as well.
Okay. So they head back down the path, right in front of the inn, and they're still just kind of trying to jump from trees to trees, trying to be really sneaky. And they head westward across the road here, across the bridge, and you keep following them all the way to this little house just on the southern side of the reservoir. And they open the door and head in, leaving just enough time for you to slip in if you want to try.
Thanos is very cautious. She's not going to do that.
Okay. The door closes behind them, the windows are drawn, and that's what you see.
Okay, I'm going to head back to the house.
All right.
was like, if I go in that house, I'm very big, and I'm
Never
like
coming back out.
I was like, 2 of them versus just me. I don't know how that's gonna roll, but yeah, I'm gonna head back to the house and start getting ready to relay what I learned.
Just become uninvisible, and Nisa goes, "Oh God!"
So I'm gonna head in and kind of just like, with like a low whisper, just alert the party that I have returned, because I imagine it hasn't been an hour, so I'm probably still very much not visible.
So, what happened?
The couple scrawled something on the doors, and I was not in time enough to see what it was, but it was a type of protection magic. And then they returned to a home not far from here. And that was when I decided to make my way back.
So they snuck their way into this home and put a protection spell
On the doors of the temple.
the doors of the temple.
Correct.
Oh, very interesting.
I don't know if any of you guys know how to dispel magic. Do you?
I'm sure we could ask them.
But they put it on there.
I guess I'm not sure how magic works, but if the caster isn't around, I don't know if their spells still linger.
Depends on the concentration
That's true.
and how long. But there are very few spells that last very, very long with concentration, at least. But if it's a rune, it might be permanent. But it seems like it would take not that much time. So,
If I may, she kind of says to interject, realizing that they can't see her, so they can't really see like any tells. If these elves or elven creatures are meant to be working alongside of this snake mother, and they have such magics, we are very well in trouble.
Yeah.
So, do we wish to stay here and hope that our initial plan works out, or do we want to go after these creatures and see what we can find?
I think that they may have answers. That
Ask
we
them
need.
questions.
my gut says that they might not even be a part of the original organization if they're trying to put protection runes on the temple. Protection.
Anybody
from-
that's trying to like think about the spell and like what it might be, feel free to roll an Arcana.
Could be protection to them or from them, right?
Give me 19.
15.
15. So while you're sort of talking all this out, Rowan and Lenosa, you kind of have the same sort of conclusion. You're sort of like thinking about all the spells you know of and how they work. It was like, okay, they're not there anymore. So, and if it only lasts for a short period of time, why even bother casting it? This has to be some kind of long duration, no presence needed kind of spell. And you're both sort of mentally working through your list of spells that you know of that could do things like this. And you both sort of have this same aha moment. And you're like, it's got to be like a glyph of warding of some kind.
So they're warding, but warding what? Whom?
Yeah. From what, I guess, is a good question.
The age-old question, are they trying to keep something out or keep something in?
I say we should ask them.
Okay. So do we go in with our fists?
I
Words.
still have some time in which I will not be visible, so I think we should strike while the Lenosa is not seen, as it were.
Classic saying.
Everybody says it.
While the Lenosa is not seen, trademark. Let's go.
Yeah. Ask questions first, and then force questions next.
Nolan, since Rowan and Lenosa know that it could be the glyph of warding, do we know how that works? Because I personally know what could happen with it, but I don't know if Rowan would know that.
Yeah, I'd say that knowing what it is less difficult than identifying it. So now that you've identified it, you can pretty easily understand what it's capable of doing to a certain extent.
Yeah, so what could be on this is that this glyph could either explode or have literally any spell stored into it. So I firmly believe that this is a keep out. So we also will have to be very careful on our way to this location, not to trigger it. And from what I understand, GM, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think that it can distinguish from friend or foe. At least not well.
Yeah, so the just a little extra detail there. Basically, when you cast the spell, you can decide what triggers it. So you can say if somebody comes close, if somebody interacts with this, if the moon is out on a 3 p.m. on a Sunday, you can sort of set up the trigger conditions, and then, like you said, either just have it explode, or you can store the casting of a spell within the rune. So it could be if undead get nearby, cast protection from evil. If celestials come by, cast protection from good. You can kind of determine what it does in the trigger conditions.
So we have no idea what sets off the spell. A wide berth for sure.
You do know that Lenosa went up to it and it did not trigger. Didn't interact with it, but went up to it, and it did not trigger.
So we ask them.
Yeah, like you said, ask questions, but then also ask questions the other way.
Right.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I think. I have my little bag on again.
What's the plan of attack here? Just gonna knock?
See if we can.
Unless otherwise told not to knock, Niece is gonna knock.
No.
We could see if we can get the door open and I can sneak in.
Yeah.
And they won't see me, so you'll have at least the advantage of an unseen companion.
If we are going to knock, I would like to be with the person to help talk.
I don't know if I agree with knocking, but
Just if we are.
I say we put it up to a vote. I can't hear George if you're talking.
Unfortunate, but I don't think I should do the talking. If that's okay. Maybe if there's a back door.
Can it accompany Lenosa?
Maybe some of us should check to see if there is a back door. And some should knock, yeah?
Yeah, Lenosa?
Danis turns the wrong direction.
Do you think maybe you could check? Oh.
Indeed, I can.
Good. Thank you.
Do you want any help with that? If the door is locked, I can certainly be of assistance.
Well, locked doors aren't always a problem for me,
Sure. Well, how about I try first, and if that doesn't work, then we have another option.
Okay.
All right, so we okay splitting off then? Maybe Nisa and Rowan go knock and say hello.
See no problem with that.
You're okay with hanging out with me? I'll
Yeah.
stand lookout.
Now, are you going to wait for the others to check to see if there's a back door, or are you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. You can. It's a fairly small cottage. It might have a bedroom or two inside, but it's rather small compared to some of the other buildings in this town. But there is no back entrance. It's just the one front door.
Okay.
Before I become visible, let's make a move.
All right.
All right, let's do it.
Before much else happens, Dennis is going to take from his bag some birdseed and scatter it on the roof.
Perfect.
The roof.
The roof.
The roof is on fire.
Yeah.
There
There we go.
I'm gonna hang around the side of the house and not be visible if you guys are going to knock.
Rowan's going to put her hood up of her outfit and then also put the shoulder parts so to cover up the Shar emblem on her chest. So
Nisa just pulls a crowbar out of her bag.
Do you want to take the amulets as well?
Oh, right, I have those. And I go through and I give everyone the ambulance of the cult, I believe, right? I put it on, and I just do this dumb like as I put it on.
All right.
I'm going to refrain from putting mine on,
That's fair. Is it? Well,
Same.
I'll put it on.
just in case they
I put it on.
aren't a part of it, then they see it and panic.
Oh, I have it on. I can open the door. Holds up it was a crossbow. Crowbar.
Perhaps I should knock, and then.
Fine.
And perception-wise, would I know that, like, where everybody is in position relatively?
Yeah, you can know where everybody is situated.
I want to try
Lenosa
to.
is like right near the door, so that like if they open it up just a little bit, she could potentially force it open.
I'm trying to
Right?
look in a window, like around the side, like as the knock happens.
Cool. But right before I knock, I cast False Life on myself to get some extra HP.
Cool.
And then I knock.
Okay.
All right. You knock on the
Knock,
door.
knock.
Clack, 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 clack. And you hear some footsteps inside, one of which begins approaching the door.
I want
You hear a tumbler throwing, and the door begins to open. And inside, you see an elven man, slender. And I'm going to go for an accent that I haven't tried, and whatever comes out, that
Ooh.
NPC is stuck with it.
I believe. Let's go.
Hit us with it.
That's how I DM.
Dorian! Yes, the travelers are here! Should we invite them in? And next week we'll find out.
Got him.